We're live. Hello, people on Zoom. Hello, people on YouTube, listening live and listening later. Welcome to this Sunday morning meditation. I am Claire Villarreal. I'm one of the senior students here at Dawn Mountain. And just first of all, happy Juneteenth, everybody. It's a great day to celebrate the official end of slavery in Texas, and also a nice day to reflect on freedom, the freedom that comes through reflecting and cultivating our own minds and spiritual capacities. So in a moment, we'll do our usual guided, lightly guided meditation, settling into the body, into the breath, using sound also as a way of cultivating our capacity to come and rest in the present moment. But I just wanted, first of all, to give a little shout out in these dark seeming times to one of my favorite books ever, the Bodhicharyavatara, the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, or as I recently heard, How to Be a Bodhisattva. I love that translation of it. I'm using, this may be the very text that I got for one of Anne's classes when I was an undergrad at Rice. It's by Crosby and Skilton as the translators. And the reason I even wanted to talk about this is that I think, especially when things just seem kind of dark and grim, and there's Omicron and a war and supply chain shortages, and now there's monkeypox, like seriously, monkeypox. Anyway, I just wanted to share that for thousands of years, there have been dark times. And there's also been, speaking from the Buddhist perspective, a whole lineage of folks cultivating the light in the middle of dark times. So whether you're Buddhist or not, I think the idea of meeting darkness and moments of suffering with compassion and with the willingness and the sort of passion to wake up as a response to suffering. I just find that very helpful to be reminded of that in a time like this. So the very first chapter of the Bodhicharyavatara, it talks about how amazing it is to even have a moment of an aspiration to wake up to the way things really are, and to fully awaken our capacities for compassion, to want to not just not suffer, but to help everyone else also not suffer. How remarkable and how rare that is. And I suspect that anyone who's tuning in to this live broadcast or to the video later, like you're investing your time in this ancient process of waking up. So I just wanted to very quickly give a little shout out to this amazing text for anyone who's interested in Buddhism. It's an important Mahayana Buddhist text, but also even if you're not, just to know that for thousands of years, people have been helping each other wake up, supporting each other in this awakening process, and calling on teachings that were already in the 8th century of the Common Era when this was written, teachings that were already almost 1,000 years old. So there's a huge lineage, like we have ancestors who are here to help us with this, whether you think of them as Buddhist or, any other form of ancestors or support, spiritually speaking, we're not alone. And there's a lot of forces out there that want to support light in dark times. So that's all I wanted to say about that. So now we can do a little practice to cultivate our own light, reconnect with it. Those who are tuning in live, I know you know this, but I'll just say it for anyone who might be listening later. In this meditation practice, that's very simple but very blessed, we have two different objects of meditation, so to speak. So two different things to kind of rest the mind on. And the first is resting the mind in the center of the abdomen, the dantian, the sacral chakra, Tibetans call it the do, It's a very powerful place and it's deep in the body. So for me, this is a great invitation to get out of my head and like literally sink the attention down in the body and just rest the mind in the sensations in the center of the abdomen. If you'd like, you can feel the expansion and contraction of the abdomen with the breath. You can also just rest your attention in that energy center. And then we'll also intersperse some periods of sounding hong, this very sacred syllable that can help us connect with our own awakened heart mind. Hong. So let's just start here with settling into the meditation seat, finding your posture. If you're watching this on a screen, you could maybe orient yourself away from the screen. If it's on your phone, you could set it down just so your eyes aren't necessarily meeting the screen. You can let your eyes kind of relax and be a little bit open if you'd like, if it's comfortable. Just lightly gazing down over the bridge of the nose at about a 45-degree angle. If it's more comfortable to have your eyes completely closed, that's fine too. So we'll just take a moment. Allow the body to settle into this space. Allow the mind to settle into the body. And whether you're doing this live or you're doing it later, you're doing it with friends. So I hope you can also feel the support of what Buddhists would call Sangha, a spiritual community that gathers together. So the body settles. Maybe you can feel some tension releasing from the shoulders. So the shoulders are soft and heavy. Maybe you can feel some tension releasing from the muscles around the eyes, the muscles in the jaws, just releasing and relaxing. You can feel into the muscles of the lower back and the lower abdomen. Invite those muscles to release, to relax. So the more the physical body is able to just relax, to release the tension in the muscles, the more the energy is able to circulate freely through the body. The more the energy can circulate freely, the more the mind can just relax. So here we are, settled in, relaxed. And if you're already comfortable and familiar with sinking your attention down to the center of the abdomen, you can just drop it down there, let it rest. Every time you notice it's wandered off, you can just come back without having to beat yourself up. If it's a little harder for you to sink the attention down, you can imagine that the mind rides the breath as the breath comes into the nostrils, rides it down into the lungs, and then rides the energy of the breath all the way down to the center of the abdomen. You can just ride it back in as many times as you need to. So I'll stop talking now, and we can all rest the mind in the center of the abdomen until it's time to sound the syllable hong together. Now we can shift our focus, our attention from the center of the abdomen to the sound Hong. If you'd like, you can bring your attention up to your heart center, which is where we think of the mind as being. We'll just sound Hong together for as long as feels comfortable for the group, and then go back to silence. Om. Now the attention can just drop back down into the center of the abdomen. And again, we can use the syllable hong as our object of meditation. Om. And once again, the mind can settle back down into the center of the abdomen. And finally, we can come up out of this part of the meditation. Maybe just taking a moment to notice how you feel, what might have shifted doing this practice. And now we'll do the second part of the practice. But first, I realized I forgot to say, if you have names that you'd like to have read when we finish this practice, we're going to dedicate whatever positivity, whatever good energy we've all experienced to folks who need it. So feel free to put those names in chat. And I don't know, Emily, or if people put those names in the comments in YouTube, will you see it there?
Yeah, I copy them into the chat.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. So as the first part of sharing our positivity from this practice, we can just kind of settle back in, and we'll use the syllable ah to kind of, I like to imagine this ah as, well, I mean, it's not just me, this is kind of how it's used in the Tibetan tradition. It's kind of an open syllable, ah. So we'll kind of use it to first take in all the positivity that has happened during our practice together, and then to share it. So with the first ah, we can imagine just a white, radiant light kind of filling up our entire body, dissolving our entire body into light. With the second ah, we can imagine sharing this light with everyone who's doing this meditation now and later. Even though we may be in, different continents, definitely in different countries. And then with the third ah, we'll just imagine sending all that collective light and energy out throughout the entire universe, this planet, all planets, all of space and time, as far as your mind wants to go with it. So first we can just kind of settle back into that meditative state and feel the positivity of this practice. And then we'll sound the first ah and feel ourselves dissolve to light. The second ah, we share this light with everyone doing this practice together, whether it's right now or you're watching in the future. Ah. And with the third ah, we share this light with everyone as far as your mind can go. And finally, we dedicate this practice today to all living beings, and especially to Nora, Health, Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Patrick, all the fathers, happy Father's Day. Tina, Danny, and Anna, Rodney Blanton, Fred Foote in the Bardo, Kenny Keown, Sylvester Muhammad, Marjay Johnson, Mike Keegan, Dave Johnson in the Bardo, Luann Novak, Andrew Jackson, Kathy, Dana, Deanna, and Bonnie Cox. All living beings. So thank you for joining this meditation. I hope you've experienced some benefit and that benefit carries over into daily life. And Dawn Mountain folks, what announcements do y'all have about cool offerings?
So our Dharma exploration series continues this Tuesday, the 21st. Sunday, the 26th, we will have a peer-led Yeshe Sogil practice. We will also, I understand, we're still possibly waiting details. We will have a third session with Adzam Gyaltse Rinpoche that day to close out our Life and Times of Adzam Drukpa. In the month of July, on the first Sunday, we'll have our first Sunday teaching, the Sunday meditation, and Dharma conversations with our lamas. And our Saturday sadhana practice that month is on the 16th. It will be green Tara.
Yeah, just to clarify on this coming Tuesday, Mark Urowitz will be the presenter, and it will be on the present moment and both in spiritual and psychological perspectives.
Sounds great. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely Sunday or whenever you're watching this.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much, Claire.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. Yeah.
Likewise.
Harvey, is AG